We're here. Sacred ground. Project 95 has descended on the Mecca, most famous arena in the world, MSG. And we're literally on Project 95 sacred ground because, as you can see in the background, we are Fishman side, the 100 level. This is roughly where I sat 30 years ago. And it's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. So a lot happened. You can see people coming in. The garden in all its glory. They kicked some ass last night. But this is Project 95. We're talking about 30 years ago. I remember being here. I was with Dever, and I was with Fitz, who is not a jam boy technically, and Hogan's come up a few times in this series. He's like an old school Clarence High guy, loves the Dead, dabbled with Phish. And I ended up actually tomorrow's video, we were in a luxury box up there for New Year's Eve in a story I'll get to tomorrow. But tonight's show, I remember mostly not liking it. I said that in the initial post. I just didn't love it, and mostly because I don't know, they opened with Caspian. Like the difference between liking and not liking a show for me is so like trivial and stupid that, and I've gotten away from it to some extent. But today I had breakfast with Winton, and he asked how the show was. This is literal today, and I was like, it was good, kind of like that. And he's like, oh. Like, I didn't say, oh my God, it was the best show ever. And that sort of triggered him a little bit. He didn't expect me to say that. I'm like, slow down. Like, the show was great. I just didn't love the songs that they picked. I'm not a huge Wave of Hope guy. I don't love 20 Years Later. The Wave of Hope was actually a good version. But I'm just not... That's how I felt about this show 30 years ago. The 12/30 94 95. That's just how I felt. And I think I wish I had my notebook with me. The one memory of the show, I think they did Kung Ice in the first set, which was spectacular. Remember Kung was kind of a 95 gem. They played Kung a bunch, it felt like. But the second set, Antelope, was the show for me. I think they closed the second set with Antelope, and it just absolutely murdered, like all 95 Antelopes, basically. But just being here, like last night, I remember I was struck by this. Like, we used to sit here regardless of our ticket, like for years and years. This is where we would meet, and if someone came and claimed a seat, we'd move a row behind or a row or a couple rows over. We'd all end up in the same section. Like now, like last night, Marty tried to sit with us up in 211. Everyone goes to their seat. I'm like, just go somewhere else. I want my friends to sit with me. So I think tonight I might sit back behind over here with Marty and just hope people don't want to sit behind the stage, because not a lot of people do, but I don't care. I like being inside the building when they're playing. I literally could not care less about where I'm sitting. 400s floor, Actually, not the floor, please. I had this argument with Bob last night. I'm like, you couldn't pay me to be on the floor right now. He's like, really? If someone said, get on, I'll put you on the rail right now and give you $1,000, you wouldn't take it? And I said, no, I wouldn't. I'd say, I'll go on the rail, but you don't have to give me $1,000. But just the straw, I would say that in 1995, I would have said that. Like, it just wasn't, it was a thing for me very briefly, and it was early on. It seems like a very noob thing to do, is want to be close. Like, to the extent that you will, go to great lengths to be close. I'm like, I just want to hear it. Like, that's my thing. So the backstage story, I know Hogan was pissed that he wasn't going backstage. So he and Fitz had just met that night. And Fitz is my buddy from Lemoyne. He's a year younger. So the two of them, I'm imagining the two of them together I feel like would have been like a Muppets sketch. Like, Fitz is like 6'5", just like lanky doof, and Hogan's just this angry Buffalonian. Like, the two of them waiting for me and Pete to get out from backstage was hilarious. Remember, Hogan coined the phrase Madison Square Labyrinth, in terms of they couldn't find their way out of the garden because, they have the weird stairwells and the way it's up off, it's like 7 floors up off the street, basically. But we went backstage, me and Dever, and this was a different animal. Like, this was 12:30. So this was a big room in the back of the garden, and there was a big spread, bigger than Worcester, with Marty. And then Marty, I talked to him about it. He's like, yeah, I remembered it differently. It's like, I remembered it being like a huge room, but not 50 people, like, which made everything more awkward. He's like, I feel like there were like 10 people there. And he's right. The room was bigger than it needed to be, for sure. I think it made the 50 feel like 10, basically. But tonight is a huge room, and probably 150 people there, including Trey's, like, the band's family, and all of the band was out. They came out and mingled, and there was a bar. Like, it was definitely a step up from like Wisconsin or Niagara Falls, just a tour stop. The highlight was me and Pete just standing there. We watched this kid puke on Trey's mom because he was hammered. He looked like he had just had his first beer, probably. But we watched the whole thing develop. So we had picked up this kid. He was kind of staggering around at the bar and just like bumping into people. I'm like, oh, this is no good. And then we saw Trey over with his parents and talking to his mom. And then Trey kind of went and talked to another group, and it was Trey's mom and dad. And then, like, I don't know who they are, friends of theirs. And this kid, it's just like, we just watched this thing unfold. This kid just like staggering over, and there was a huge, those big trash cans, like right near those high top tables. And this kid staggers over, and he kind of launches this projectile vomit and kind of blankets their table and gets maybe half of it into the garbage can and half of it onto Trey's mom and those in the general vicinity. So that's the big. So I got Marty trying to give Trey a children's book, and then douchebag puking on Trey's mom backstage at the Garden. I don't think Pete would have to chime in on this, but I don't think either of us had any interaction with the band. Backstage on the 30th, it was too big. Like, it would have been, I don't know, it would have been off-putting, I would think. If it felt like more of a family and friends thing. And then here's these two assholes. But coming out, there's so many legendary quotes from this run. That one of them is Madison Square Labyrinth, which was Hogan. Another one was, we were standing, there used to be a Sparrow across the street from the Garden, like for most of the 90s. And that's where we would always meet at the Sparrow. So when we came out, Hogan and Fitz were standing there. Again, what they were doing or talking about is beyond me. And we were standing next to this dude who's like, yeah, man, you guys want to go see Sandboard? I can't even do the voice. We're going to see Sandboard right now, pal. You know that guy going to see David Sanborn. And there was a guy selling fatty pants, quote unquote, which I guess were just patchwork pants. And still quote this. Dever texted me. I'm staying at his place right now. He texted me, who wants the fatties? So this guy had like 2 pairs of fatty pants on like a stick. He's just like, fatty pants, who wants the fatties? And the 4 of us are standing there like, oh. Like there's just so much about this band that I'm done with. But it's just that shit. It's that shit. Who wants the fatties? No one wants the fatties. I'm telling you right now. I'm so discombobulated right now because it's pre-show. I want to go get food. I feel like I didn't talk about the show enough, but from this run, this was, everyone says the 30th is the best. I know I mentioned that, or that's a trope. I disagree. In my experience, the 30th has not been the best night, unless you're talking about 97. 97 it was, but 94 it wasn't. 95 it wasn't. 98 it wasn't. So, and the 95 one, I remember just leaving like, I got one more left. And they 100% redeemed themselves. So I'm gonna wrap this up. I hope it was at least a little bit cool that I filmed this video from the actual Garden where we sat 30 years ago. I'll say this too. So the Jam Boys, we met up last night at a restaurant. Then we had seats together. But it's not this. It doesn't hit the same way a summer show does. In terms of just ease of congregating and hanging out and just chilling, everything is just intensified, basically. There's nowhere to hang out because it's fucking 30 degrees. Like, you can't even, like, you know, they redid the Garden, like the whole front, and there's like a plaza with places to hang out. Like, you can't do that because it's cold. So like today, I met Witten for breakfast, went back to Pete's. I slept till like 4 o'clock, and I got up, took a shower, and came here. Like, it's just, and compared to SPAC, the outdoor, the Jam Boys OG outing, like, we got to spend time together in the lot. We got a good parking spot, courtesy of Fisher and his in-laws. You can go to Shakedown. we were on a lawn for the most part, so like you get as much space as you want. Like the summer vibes are just so much more conducive to a Jam Boys, like a unifying event. Not that I'm shitting on the garden at all, but the whole Manhattan experience makes it more difficult to jam, but we persevere. The Jam Boys persevere is rule number 2. Or rule number 1, Jam Boys jam. Rule number 2, Jam Boys persevere in the face of less than jam-worthy circumstances. So I'll leave you with that for tonight. And then I'll see you tomorrow, and we'll wrap this thing up. I'll be home, so no more MSG for me.